Hillforts have played a significant role in protecting people and their lands for centuries. Today I'm going to be exploring two of Dorset's finest examples, Hambledon Hill and Hod Hill.
And today I've got company. Let me introduce Mr. Paul Whitewick.
Hello.
Paul makes fantastic short historical documentaries here on YouTube. Please do go check him out.
Aren't these views stunning? We've just stopped to look, as we have so much today on this walk. It's just breathtaking views in every direction.
Like many hill forts, Hambledon Hill has been used and extended by different groups of people throughout the ages, starting with our Neolithic ancestors right through to the Romano-British people. Excavations in the late 1970s uncovered two Neolithic long barrows, along with many interesting Neolithic finds, including the careful burial of defleshed skeletons, human skulls, bones, pottery and simple tools. Fast forward to 600 BC, the Iron Age, and a huge community project was underway to transform what had previously been just a settlement into a fortified, multi-valet hilltop defence. But who were they trying to keep out, and did any battles actually happen here? The evidence suggests that, like many hill forts in Britain, they were actually built for the prevention of attack, a deterrent. Some historians have suggested that they were a status symbol which various Celtic tribes used to warn others that the surrounding lands were their territory.
So when the Iron Age people first created the ditches and ramparts, underneath the soil was a layer of chalk, just like in most of the south of England. So the ramparts and ditches would have been absolutely gleaming white, much like the chalk hill figures we see around the south of England.
So yeah, and what you said a minute ago was like so true. You couldn't see this as a site where they lived for decades and decades, yeah. But it is like a statement in the landscape, isn't it? It is like a as you said, with the whole chalk face. This is like some kind of huge monument, this huge statement that we are here. Yeah. Look what we've built.
The tribe that ruled this area of Dorset were the Durotrigus tribe. Hambledon Hill was just one of a chain of hill forts which played an important part in trade. The last of this chain sits at Hengistbury Head, right on the Dorset coast. It's thought that goods were imported and exported along this chain via the River Stour, which brought the Durotrigus tribe much wealth. This additional wealth allowed further enhancements to be made to the hill fort. Roundhouses, grain stores and wooden palisade walls were also added, along with 3 complex entrances which were designed to slow any attack. Paul and I noticed via the drone what looked like a Roman amphitheatre. Of course that's not what it was for, so a closer inspection was needed.
So our theory is that maybe this is more built up on this side because the land is flat on the other side. Is that what we're going with, we think?
I reckon, yeah. I mean, when we saw this on the drone footage, we were thinking, okay, it looks like a purpose-built kind of amphitheatre almost. Obviously it wasn't, but we're just like, yeah. But then when you think about this landscape here, where everywhere else has got the natural hill, but that side hasn't. That side's got the flat, carries on, doesn't it? So I guess that rampart there, or that ditch, would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. During the English Civil War, a group of Dorset men known as the Clubman dominated Hambledon Hill. They were not on the side of the parliamentarians and they did not support the royalist cause either.
The Clubman simply wanted to protect the local area from any damage caused to the people or crops by the imminent Civil War battles. Armed with just clubs, around 2,000 of the Clubmen set up camp here on Hambledon Hill in August 1645. Cromwell's men were in the area, having just taken Sherborne Castle, and their arrival was imminent.
When Cromwell heard of this complication, he sent his much larger, much more advanced and much better equipped forces to Hambledon Hill to disperse the Clubmen. The leaders of the Clubmen were arrested by Cromwell's men and branded by him as poor silly creatures. Okay, so we're now on the hunt for Hod Hill.
Just southeast of Hambledon Hill and spanning across 54 acres stands the remarkable Hod Hill. Radiocarbon dating has discovered late Iron Age activity here from around 460 BC. Hod Hill is a bivalent hill fort, meaning it has a double circuit of defensive ditches and ramparts. The hill fort was used as a settlement, and extensive evidence has been found of up to 200 roundhouses having been built here. And it wasn't just the Iron Age people who settled here. Around AD 43, the Romans arrived and set up camp and built a fort here on Hod Hill.
Okay, we've got cows here. See Paul down there doing his professional shots. And I'm up here looking at cows. Yeah. So it's a belief that those that were settled on Hambledon Hill, that we've just been to, actually relocated here to Hod Hill because it's a bit smaller at just 143 metres rather than 190, which Hambledon Hill is, and it's more accessible. So they believed that they moved from Hambledon Hill down here to Hod Hill. And then in AD 43, the Romans took over Hod Hill, like all the other hill forts in the area, and they settled here, and they actually built a fort here in the northwest corner and a camp, and they stayed here on Hod Hill for about 5 or 6 years until they left in AD 50. I also read that the leader of the Durotrigus tribe was killed here by the legion of Vespasian, the Romans, but how true that is I don't really know, but I did read it in a couple of different sources. Gorgeous butterflies everywhere. It's so lovely to see them. Okay, I'm going to climb up here up the rampart. Wow, and there's the ditch. Can you see that? That's incredible. So again, they would have dug that all out of the ditch. It would have been gleaming white as they exposed the chalk underneath. So any oncoming tribes, any enemies, well, they would have spotted them. What an incredible fortification. Absolutely incredible. To think that early man carved this out of the landscape to protect his people. So we were just stopped in our tracks there by how incredibly neat and perfect that ditch is dug out. Look at that. And it's so deep. Remarkable.
From sacred places of Neolithic burial to early settlements to Iron Age fortified defence systems, hill forts have layer upon layer of history to tell us. And I hope you've enjoyed exploring them with me. I'll see you all again on the next Weird Walk.
Today I'm out in the Dorset countryside and I've come to explore 2 incredible hill forts. But what are hill forts and who bought them? Well, Here we go. Here we go.